Hey besties, welcome back to another podcast and thank you for joining us on the Best Couple podcast. Okay guys, I'm not sure where today's going to take us, but we're trying to get back into the hang of things, the roll of things, and to be honest, it's here, there, everywhere. So we discussed a few things we wanted to speak about today, and I jumped on TikTok live after such a long time.
Were you nervous?
Was I nervous? I'm not going to lie. It's been about 3 months. Would you say a bit more than 3 months?
Probably longer than that.
A bit longer than 3 months. And I was nervous. I could feel my gut churning. I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I nervous for? Chill. They're just human beings. You know, we're going to get the idiot here or there, but who cares? So I remember speaking to myself. I'm not normally like this. I just jump on because it's been a long time. That's how I did feel today. But that's the thing, don't they say though? Like, do the things that you fear the most. But it's not that I fear that the most. I've got out of the hang of it. Is that building that back up again? And this is what they say. You need to keep in the routine with things like, but not take these big
gaps and breaks.
And mine's been 4 or 5 months.
We need to step back.
Yeah, but it's not hard. I mean, it's not easy, and it's not hard. It's not easy because people assume you're doing this for now, 3.5 years?
YouTube, we're doing for 4 years. We haven't been doing podcasts for 4 years. So I think we've only done about 16 episodes last year of the podcast. And now the last one that we came back after that, since September when we stopped doing it because our daughter went away and loads sort of like changed. Which I'm not going to go into. We will sooner or later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that has been at 17. But hopefully now we can do a weekly one. But again,
it's getting back into it. Although you've been doing it for at least 3.5 years, YouTube and the TikToks and the podcast, it still is a lot for us to come back because it's also like not knowing what we're going to talk about and going on.
No. We do know.
We do, but it's like where do you start?
I think it's like this. It's like, if you guys know, we got a reaction channel, which is our sort of like a day job, a main day job. We've done it for 4 years, so we are. But when you've got so many people who follow you, subscribe, and they've got so many sort of like avenues of like Instagram, email, each video that people write on, and they tell us what they want us to react to next. There's so many that you're just going, okay, but we only post this many videos, like, a day and stuff like that. So you can only pick what you pick. So when you got so many people who write to us individually, asking us personal questions about, marriage, relationships, kids, families, in-laws, culture, society, how we did what we did. You look at it and you're going, which one shall I? Which subject shall we talk about?
Where do we start? Can I get you to bring your chair in a little bit? I don't like the way it's positioned, so...
It's really difficult looking straight than having a conversation with you. That's the reason.
Yeah, but your chair is just all the way over there, and then it just looks odd in the video.
Okay, cool. I don't like this. I'm gonna have a bad neck. But cool. Okay. Sorry,
guys.
You can see where the boss is in the house.
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish. So where were we? So it's like picking which subject do you talk about. It can get mind-boggling. And today when I jumped on TikTok, people haven't seen me for ages, and straight away it's like seems to be the same question each and every time. And I think because I don't really dive into, I don't really speak about it much. They want to know. It's like, oh my god, and I feel bad because you should be able to share, your experience and stuff.
That's what we want to do on here.
On here as well, but this is where you can come back and look at it, or the people searching for it. Where's there? You're there that one time, and that one person,
someone else asks you the same question, then the next person asks you, and it's not theirs as content.
Exactly, and it's you have to repeat yourself, and sometimes it can be annoying. If someone else has already heard that before, they've jumped on, I've heard that before. Let's talk about something different. But so you just don't know. But we had a lot of questions today, being the first day, and there were about
and some funny ones as well.
There were about...
not on the TikTok, but we've had funny questions. Sorry.
Yeah, we have. There were about, like, how did I feel? Like, how difficult was it for me? Could you speak about you leaving home? And, also, I think it was to do with moving in with in-laws. How, some advice on that. There's those kind of questions. So those are the kind of things that people ask a lot. And obviously... also relationships.
And also not having support of any kind of people looking after your children, or or any kind of support in anything, just like you guys doing what you did and raise the kids.
So you can imagine those kind of they all kind of are linked, aren't they?
Yeah.
Comes under parenting, relationship, family,
and marriage advice,
right.
how you cope and working with each other and everything else, isn't it? Yeah.
And he was like, where do you start? How do you start? So not sure where this one's going to go today, loves. So all I can say is buckle up, besties, because
can I just ask people whilst we're going on, guys, if you can, give us your love and support. If you're watching or listening to us on Spotify or Amazon or whatever it might be, share, follow, subscribe, whatever it is. Write a comment down what things that you guys would think that would be great for us to. To the people who are new, we've been married for, it will be 25 years this year, and we've got 4 children, 3 at university and 1's in secondary school, 3 girls and a boy. And we work together, we do everything together, and so that's basically us. We've taken care of our kids and raised them, just us guys, not fitting into the wider world of society, culture, that kind of thing. It's been boom out. So it is what it is. Not that we plan to do it that way. It's just circumstances in life went that way, and we're not saying it was easy, and I don't know if everyone can do it.
I think people know little bits and bobs, and those are the kind of questions they're always asking. So like I was saying, it's just not knowing where to start from or how to go about it.
You'll be doing many TikTok lives now then that you've started?
Of course, I want to jump back into it, especially knowing how I felt today. It's like, and you just feel like, geez, you've been out of job for like ages, and hold on, you forget what comes along with it. You know what I mean? Like we had rules of what we were gonna do and not gonna say or not say. You know what I mean? And we've been repeating the rules and breaking those rules from the last time. Because it's like remembering, hold on, we weren't going to, just for example, you're going to get your trolls. Like before I used to read them all out and just dig into them, and now I'm like...
Yeah, you're like trying to put them all in their place.
Today, he's getting back into it, and it's like, had an auntie on, and she was going on about, certain things. I'm like, Jackie, go and have some midtoff first thing in the morning, have something sweet, mellow you out a bit. Why would you come and waste your time writing?
9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So that there's things. So I'm like, you know what, I need to, because but then what needs to change is the way you approach that. Like I shouldn't bother. And that's what I used to do before I stopped doing that. But yes, I'm going to obviously be doing it a lot more. Try to, as well as everything else I've got going on.
Like Sureet said, with TikTok Live, you felt different after doing it a long time. It's the same thing with the podcast. Podcast now, jumping on here, even though we film more or less nearly every other day, doing our YouTube videos, I know I'm a movie lover. I know the context of the movies and what I'm going to say, and even without doing any research I don't read up or anything. No. It's just naturally being myself, seeing what I see with Sureet, and we talk. And being on here, it does feel different. It feels more or less, you feel more, even though I feel myself there, I am myself here. But I think deep down you feel a bit more vulnerable, because you basically bringing out personal stuff about yourself, whereas you're not doing that on there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have a laugh and a banter and here and there little bits, but that you can relate to. But here it just feels like the majority of the conversations are personal, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't be sharing them, because what's the point doing a podcast if you ain't going to share them? You have to open up. There's, like you said, there's subjects that people are asking us because they know about us. They know what we've experienced and gone through, and and they probably going through this kind of stuff. So they want some advice, how we dealt with those things. And like I said, it's finding the right way of giving that with also sharing our own personal experiences. So I guess in a way, like you said, it's that comfort zone. It's like going, okay, I've got to put all my cards on the table and say, this isn't easy.
You don't know where today is going to go. I thought Steve was moody. He's just a bit tired. And also now know that we both feel the same way. Having that break, even before the break, I felt like we were still the same. you know, how do we go about this, and putting your cards out on the table and being vulnerable. And I feel like we still even then tiptoed around things. Do you think?
Yeah, I think we do. And I think the reason why I'm trying to relate this to people is it's when you're trying to do something that you don't normally do, but you want to do it. Like now, Magic Flicks, which is our other channel, even though we got like 650,000 subscribers on there and we get millions of views on our videos, I find it easy. It just feels natural where, you know, so you just jump on there and you just go. It's showtime.
Yeah.
You know, and I was saying to Sureet, it's like,
it's something
since I'm Stevie K, it's like that. And this is now something
different.
So when it's you're doing something different, you more or less, you want it to go really well. You want to work on it hard, but you want to enjoy it. And the thing is, it's every single time you're like going, okay, was that okay? It's like now we never want to prepare so much, but we want to answer questions. But it's also finding it in our own way to do it, not the way that other people do it. So it is different.
So Magic Flicks, you are, although you say you become this person, you become the you because you love movies and you know so much about it, and that joy and that, you know, it just comes out of you. Like you express it really well, and it's something.
I think that's where my two things are. It's like I'm Steve, you know.
I know my shit about movies. I know inside out.
It's like when I'm Stevie K, and that's why it's Stevie K. Stevie K is like it's showtime. Yeah. It's like he is the guy who, you know, plays football like crazy, does all the things like, you know, mad, knows all the stuff about movies, can talk non-stop. Steve is more or less reserved and, okay, let me just back off. Stevie K is like, okay. I'm sure everyone could probably relate that when you are married or in a relationship, or if you've got kids, family, or, you know, it could be not, but you got family around you. It doesn't matter how much you plan something or you got things that you want to do. It could be, obviously you got your work. Many people have their work or their education that they have. And then later on, they want to work on their sort of hobbies or, you know, their dream job or goals, you know, something that they want to hustle on, like today's word, like grind and stuff like that. Basically, working on a project that is true to you, something that you want to do that takes off, that's, you know, that you want to do for yourself, which is like this podcast for us. That all of a sudden, even though you can plan it, like we had this time planned that we were going to film and all that, and then all of a sudden you finish your TikTok and we got a call from the school saying our son isn't well, come and pick him up. So it's simple things like that can change your whole sort of like week structure, because you don't know how long he's going to be off for, and, you know, then all of a sudden trying to look after him, making sure all that is right, and your mindset or your, you know, mind frame of what you was going to talk about and how you was feeling at the time when you was going to start doing your work, all of a sudden changes. I know you could be like strong in the sense that, okay, let me put that aside, which is what we're doing. He's not well, we've given him tea, he's just lying down, and we've just gone, okay, call us if you need us, and we'll just like, he's in the other room anyway, so it's not like he's far, so it's not we left him and gone into some office or anything. He's in the other room. He just has to either text us if he can't, you know, get up. Hopefully he can, he isn't that bad, but he isn't well. But the thing is, all of a sudden it's like restarting and making sure he's okay, and then trying to focus on the work you got to do. And I'm sure, like I said, parents and, you know, couples can relate when you can come back from home and you've got like a plan that I'm going to film this, or I'm going to work on this project, fix this car, or, you know, it could be your wife who wants to, like, you know, like engineer and fix the car or whatever it might be. So I'm not like, you know, stereotyping that there's one or the other. Whoever it might be might have something, a goal, or, you know, doing your own TikToks. And either you still do it and fit it in, or you say, okay, not today, and you make those excuses. Like many times people, it's not really, it's unfair actually. You know, I know I'm saying excuses, but it's not always an excuse. I know there'll be people who go, regardless of what you're going through, you can still do the stuff. You can, but it all depends on what the thing is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And certainly with, like, now, like you said, there was people asking advice about on TikTok, and we get it all the time on Instagram. I think there's so many, I wouldn't say people in their 20s. I think people in their 30s and 40s that are contacting us more or less. I mean, they are in their 20s as well, but 30s and 40s in the sense of, I'm with my partner, we want to move in together, and but he doesn't. It's usually a female, but he doesn't want to leave his parents' house. And how do we go about that? Because, you know, I want to create my own home, my own way, and stuff like this. But yeah, I still love him, and he's a great guy. And to be honest, there was something that I heard on another podcast. So this is me, like, you know, mention another podcast. I do listen to podcasts. That Shivani, if you've heard her, she done one recently, and she said basically that she was talking to someone, and she said that she went to therapy or something ages ago, and someone asked her about what do you love about your boyfriend, you know, and I think she said something on the lines of, he has a lovely family. And she goes, that's when it sort of hit her, kind of thing, that I'm with him because he's got a lovely family. And then she was trying to think of what things I can say that she loves about him. And she goes, she did, but it's just like they came sort of after she had to think about things that she does love about him. But the first thing that came out, I believe it was this, so correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sorry, I apologise if it's not right, but I'm sure it was on hers. If not, it was someone else's. But I heard that it was like more or less like going, yeah, I love his family. And then it sort of like had this sort of, you know, like thing that happened in her head that going, damn, what am I with him for? I'm with him for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
Alarm bells ringing, yeah, that's it. That I'm there because you know, certainly with Indian families, you believe that you're not just marrying the person, you're marrying their family. But at the end of the day, that's then means that you have to make every one of those people happy. And not all those people are going to be happy because they all got their own individual issues, circumstances, problems, dilemmas, you know, work, relationships that they've got to resolve and sort out, which are totally different to you.
Yeah.
You can't. And we couldn't. And the thing is, it's fine we marrying someone's family, but what if they don't like you? How do you make them happy? You know, what then you just like, you do? Well, you know, it's that. But if that is the only reason that, you know what, people look up to their family, they're lovely, they're all nice and all that, then what does that say about your relationship with your partner? So you're with him because all the other people are nice. Yeah. But then, you know, what happens when, and, you know, God forbid, but you know it's true, we all got to go. So I'm not like lying. It's just, it is the circle of life. We're born and one day we all must die. What happens if they all died before, you know, you and your partner? What was your life or your journey? Yes. Or if they did not still like you no matter what you did, or they didn't like their son or their daughter or whoever it might be, that you're there and they're going, well, we don't like you lot. We don't like our own kin. So piss off. Now you're like going, oh damn, but I like that family. So what do? You said to your partner, like, step aside, it's all right, let me go and live there, you just like stay here. I know they're your family, but tough luck. So even that, it's just like makes you think that, you know, people's circumstances and what people think that they're in a relationship for isn't always for the right reasons. And they're not like looking clearly. So for me, you want to get married and you want to be in a relationship, it's got to be, you've got to have love, and you've got to be more smitten by the person you want to spend your rest of your life with. Because even your kids grow up, they're going to find their own partners. They're going to have their own journeys. There's nothing saying that they've got to live next door or down the street or be half an hour away. I mean, come on, if they get this, we got 3 daughters and a son. Doesn't matter if it's our daughter or our son, get married to somebody who has an amazing career, or they have an amazing career, or they both have them, and they've got a job opportunity. They want to be actors, let's just say, or business people. They've got to travel around the world. Now, what do you say to them? Sorry, you can't go. You've got to stay here. Or they don't go and pursue their dreams just because they've got to keep mum and dad company.
Do you know what?
And happy. Or if we go, sorry, I will let you. If we go, then damn, we don't get the free babysitters. So this why we shouldn't pursue our goals and dreams and go and somewhere else because otherwise we lose our babysitters for free babysitters.
I know a lot of personal people, or I did know a lot of people who were like that. You know, I didn't get on with family, but yet just because they needed either babysitters. But then going back to that one where, you know, wanting to be in the movies, whatever career goal it was, but it was abroad, wouldn't go because of mum and dad at home. And that's quite sad, isn't it? Because whereas we're different in that sense, we're like, follow your dreams, go as far as you want, see the world, do what's good, best for you. Yeah. But it is, you see it so often, like so much around where we are, like people we've known.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I think it's just basically choice. What's more important to you? And it's not always, but we love our mum and dad and our mum and dad loves us. It's not about that. It's just that, are you going to be happy and fulfilled? Because if you're going to be sitting there and you're going to be miserable and you're going, this is what it is, but I wish I was doing that. I mean, are they happy and are they fulfilled? I mean, I still know that there's loads of parents out there. I spoke to someone in the gym this morning, lovely lady, probably in her 50s, so she's not even, too old. And we're having this, she was asking, obviously, about our son. And saying, obviously he's in secondary school. And I said to her that got the 3 daughters in university. She's like going, oh, any daughters? I went, yeah. I got 3, they're in university. And she went, you don't look old enough. And so I was just saying that. And she goes, I always thought it would be nice to have had 2 daughters. I've only got 1. And every day when she comes home, she basically says, I mean, so many of us in the sauna sort of thing. And she was just going, Mum, let's do this. Mum, let's go there. Mum, let's do that. And she goes, all I want is a break. And we went, well, kids are like that. Sometimes you just got to tell them that Mum can't do this, that and the other. She goes, I know, but I just don't understand why she doesn't spend sort of she comes from work, why she just doesn't spend time with her husband or her own children. She's always at mine every day. And everyone's face in the sauna, everyone turned around and went, we thought you were talking about a child.
Do you know what it is? I think, Upper people understand, our people understand, but English people don't understand because they don't do that with theirs. Their kids fly off and
she's Muslim.
They fly off and they do their own thing. They let their kids be free. Whereas she could say that. I think she could say that she doesn't want her all the time over and she wants a space. I believe that. But then, even when she doesn't turn up, I guarantee you'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah, because we did end up saying that. So why don't you just speak to her? And she was like going, I feel that she'll find it we've always done things together and she hasn't got a sister, so she feels guilty that she should have gave her a sister. I should have 2 girls, then they could have kept each other company and therefore there would have been less for me. But I think now it's just gone to, I don't want to offend her, she's got somewhere to go and we do things together and I don't want to let her down. But she's probably on that side going, Mum always needs me.
Yeah.
And, because Mum's at home and if I don't go, then Mum hasn't got anyone else. So her story could be 2 different stories that they tell each other of why they need to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
And, her husband could be like, do you know, we haven't got a relationship. You're always at your mum's every day. You could be sitting here, but my mum needs me. I don't know how long she's going to be around for, blah, 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 and, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Thinking that, I've got to keep her company. She hasn't got no other daughters or anyone else. If it's not me, then there's no one.
Yeah.
Well, she's there going...
It's the same with, children as well. They're saying, going back to people who had opportunities abroad and don't go for studying or work and stuff, because even they feel that same thing and will leave mum and dad behind, Sometimes it is the parents, they wouldn't want that.
And that's where I actually like people, like in India, many times you turn around and you go in, okay, how... circumstances are in India, but one thing is, when their child goes, if there's an opportunity of them to study in the UK or America or Canada or anything else, they're just going, this is an opportunity, Joe.
Yeah.
It's okay. You know what? We're here, Joe. Here, you would basically get parents going, no, Joe, please, Joe. I think you're going to get study life.
Yeah.
It's over and you're going, you got
our parents' generation who've come here. They think they've changed, but they haven't, because in India, the same, people in India are pushing their kid to do more and see more and whatever, where parents here are still in that mindset, keep the, they've got to help us, they've got to be there for us afterwards, and we can, Dick and I when we're ill. And
it might not even be abroad, it could just be there in India, in certain places, but they're pushing them to go, you go to Delhi or you go to Mumbai, you go somewhere else for the opportunity of the job.
Like that young girl that we saw in the restaurant. Like, it makes you so proud, because we went to eat out, and this young girl, like same age as our daughter, and she's come from Kerala, and she's working, and she's just been here, and she's not only just studying, she's found herself a job, and she was so proud of talking about how she can't wait to, her mum and dad to come over and see her on her graduation, know, and they have, regardless of, how, it must be back at home, they have that tight knit bond, like you were saying, they could in India, because they don't understand all of this. They don't understand all of this mental health thing or whatever, because they don't see it as a thing in India.
No.
Markutia, they love us or whatever else. No, they're
they don't take it offensive. They just think that it's part of growing up.
Whatever it is, whatever journey they're on and happiness that they have, they always want to make sure that the parents are close nearby them, or they get to see them make those. And
I'm not making this up. It's got so many viewers and people that we know from India that we communicate and interact with so often, and they tell us that mental health, they don't talk about it as much. What we here would class as stress, depression, mental health. I'm not saying people don't have it, I'm not trying to say that people don't have it, but certain things that we might class as our upbringing and this, that and the other causes stress, and they just see it as part of their upbringing, that there is what it is. It's just that this is how parents are, and this is how, and they just go, this is how kids are, and it's, for them, it's normality. So they're just like, we ain't bothered about it. It doesn't affect us. They still go and get their education or get that job, and they're still like, their parents are their everything kind of thing. Here, I'll be like going, well, you was like me once when I was a kid, or you told me off and you said I couldn't play with my friends, and now, the rest of my life I've been like okay,
it brings you to a question someone asked on one of my Instagram, like, she's a lady, and obviously she's probably about our age, she's got children, and she was like, she finds it very difficult to talk to them because of the communication, how they are these days. Like, everything seems to be wrong. You have a squabble with your child, you tell them to do something, it's got to be spoken in a certain way, or like, there's a difference. That before, your parent would tell you and guide you and you'd understand, whereas now you can't even do that with your own children.
They can't even do that. You just tell you and you go,
oh my god, yeah, we'd do that.
Okay.
And and now it's chucked in your face that and is it what do they call it, millenniums or
millennials?
That they are,
or Gen X or Gen Z. What? Yeah,
I don't know, that
Gen Z.
They want to be spoken differently too. Like, there's a way of speaking, and the arguments. So how do you be parents in this generation?
It's like now, like saying, it's like kids going to school and saying to the teacher, "Can you teach me in this way?"
Yeah.
Or saying, "Can you speak to me in this way?" Because I'm not going to have you talk to me like this. And if each individual pupil says to the teacher that I want you to teach me in the way that I want to be taught, none of them it ain't happening. And it's like this. It's like going now, parents talking to their kids. It's more or less like going, don't tell me what you want to say. Tell me what I want to hear in the way I want to hear it.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
And you're like going, okay, so majority of the times, most of your day is like going, thinking about how you're going to talk to your child about the thing that you need to talk about, instead of actually talking to them. And then when you talk to them, you find out you F up still. Yeah. Because it's not the way that they want to hear it.
It's crazy. It's crazy, isn't it? But it's not like just...
like different language.
I think it's just
it took the aliens.
Here and probably America or something. But like many other countries, you have Dubai, India, many other... They're not... It's not the same. But I'm not
saying
there.
Every kid's as well. They could be here. I'm just saying it in general. And again, the people might turn around and go, oh God, you just talking about young kids. I was a police officer for 20 years. So I was working in schools for 10 years. Probably more than 10 years. So I've been around children who are very young in primary school, and then also being in secondary schools, covering those. So it's talking to them and going to their homes and seeing how they communicate with their parents. It was like all that. So it wasn't just, oh God, he's talking about, all the other kids. And no, trust me. And you just look at it and you're going, wow, back in the days, firstly, I wouldn't have spoken to my parents like that. Secondly, if I did, I would clap around my hero.
I know.
And not that I did get a clap around a hero, because I never did it. I would have assumed that I would have. But now it's just...
That one look would have just made you feel like, oh my God, yeah. Not doing that again.
Yeah, but I think, like you're saying, it was more or less like going, let your children follow these dreams without feeling that their responsibility is to take care of you and be around you to keep you company. Because I tell you, if you're not enjoying your life or you're not doing something that you want to do or fulfilling it, or, you know, I mean, maybe you didn't do it before because your parents didn't allow you, then you didn't do it because you got married and you had kids and your in-laws and your partner didn't allow you, and, you know, family relationships and circumstances, you know, like us. But then after that, now you can.
Yeah. It's saying that, you know, when our kids went away to uni, we were still thinking, okay, one day they'll just come back. They're going to come back home after they're done.
Yeah.
And that's what was in the back of our heads. We didn't think anything different.
Because
that's what everyone else
normal,
does.
Everyone else is, yeah.
And knowing that they're so settled and they love where they are and they're not, it took us a while ourselves, like, okay,
this isn't normal.
This isn't normal.
This
Not that we
isn't
said that to them. We didn't
No,
say
no, no, we
We've
didn't say
never
it to
said
them.
anything to them. It's like, okay, so we didn't expect this.
And you have to have those conversations with each
yeah,
other. Not with them, like, oh, God, you really? No, you like, I thought other people ain't. No, you just
You
have
never
that with us,
disencourage them of, you know, following their path and stuff. But it was different for us. Like, we're like, okay.
And we're not parents who text or call our children every day to go, are you okay? You're safe? How are things now? Or expect them to call us every day to fill our time to say. Many times, you know, they'll text and I haven't replied back for a while. I mean, unless it's their phone, then we just think, okay, it's an emergency. You know, let's contact. But majority of the time, it's like message. You like reply when you can, and they do the same.
It's crazy though you say that. We are like that, but when you look back at your friends and everyone who used to go to uni back in our days, the parents would be ringing every single day to check up on that child, to see how they are, and the child would be like, you know what, how do I get out of this excuse? I did nothing different than I did yesterday, and they'd find it annoying, kind of thing. So we've learned of that ourselves, like thinking, seeing, and whatever.
For me, it's
I knew a fair few people.
Breathe, live and let live, and not only that, it's I want them to be able to take care of themselves, because you don't know what tomorrow holds. I think parents don't understand is, even though it's our job to protect and guide, that you're not there going to be there forever. So if I can put my children in a position that they can take care of themselves, this is how I see it. I just want my children to have me and you in their life, that we create good memories, that, you know, when we go they go, oh my God, you know, those things that mum and dad used to do with us, that was amazing. Not turn around and think like, you know, oh, you know, if we went, like some parents, we went and they turn around and go, damn, my bank's closed down, now where do I turn? Or my house that I was in, my landlord's now gone and he's chucked me out of the house, now what do I do? Or, shit, my free babysitters have disappeared. Now, I miss my parents because I've got nowhere to stay. I miss my parents because I got no one helping me pay my bills and, you know, life, and picking me up when every time, you know, I miss my parents because my kids now, I've got to drop them off somewhere else, or I've got to, like, you know, have less hours in my job, or take time off, and I can't live the life that I want because my babysitters are gone. I want my kids to say, I'm not saying I wouldn't look after my grandkids, you know, when they had them, like, you know, here and there, or help my kids with money, or if they needed it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying parents shouldn't help their kids at all when they're older. You know, if you can and you're capable, fair enough. But that shouldn't be your purpose and your goal, and it shouldn't be your children's purpose and goal, that I want my parents near and there, so I've got somewhere to hang out because I, you know, have no other life and I don't want to do anything else, or I got people at least look after my kids so I can have a life. And I think because of our circumstances, I want my kids to go, shit, you know what, I miss going on holiday with mum and dad. I miss sitting with them and, you know, during Christmas and having a laugh and a joke and stuff like that. Grandkids, like, because afterwards, it's like now there's so many people that were in my life I don't remember, and people come and go. So, but at least when you go, you know for a fact that they can look after themselves, look after their partners, look after their kids, look after their home. They didn't need us for that. And I've gone, I've sorted that. All four of my kids can take care of themselves, and it doesn't matter where they move. And again, they're not stuck in a certain place or area thinking, I better stay here because my sister might need me. No. Individually, they can take care of their own shit. So they can live wherever they want. They can just communicate as and when they feel like it. Not feeling obliged. That it's like, you know.
My point saying that about I knew friends and I knew people who would feel that way, like mom's always ringing every day whilst they're at uni. And it'd be, you know, you don't want to answer at times, you got work going on, and it's like, you don't want to be on the phone for like 10 minutes, it'd be like half an hour or something, same things. And they avoid those phone calls, or, you know, but they had to, I've got to ring for the time, I've got to ring her 7 o'clock every day. Didn't like it. So we don't do that with our children, but I've realised that they're different. It's like they want you to ring them. So you like, you know how our parents were before, like they'd want, not all of them, at times they, you know, but you will hear it there, and it'd be nice if you rang. But we're like, we do what we do because of what you're saying. We want them to, you know, be there with us and enjoy those times that they are with us. That we have those, you know, whenever we do meet together.
I feel like they can take care of themselves. I don't need to like ring so often and go, "Are you okay? You're fine."
Yeah. But saying that, there is a lot of people that you know who are like that, who live nearby each other just because they need the support and help, and it's really bad. And at times it is not always, but at times the people that
we
I've
all
known,
need support and help. Sometimes, I mean, okay, we didn't get it.
Of course we do.
We all need support and help.
But I think we've been the people who are like, you know what, I'm
but
sorry.
But it's like having the support and help and then taking the piss.
Yeah, there's having your boundaries as well. You don't have to keep on like
boundaries. It's a big word now. Trust me, and I think it's important.
Just going back a fair few years ago, someone I knew were on the verge of not like, you know, known her for long enough, but I was like, there's things about this person I really don't like. You know, it's really starting to show to me now. I don't know why it didn't before. It was the same. She's the same person. She was that way. But those kind of things with, you know, not getting on with her own mother-in-law. At one point, she'll ask me, "Could you drop my kids off at school? You know, be easy or whatever." I'm like, okay, maybe. But like, and in the end, it was her mother-in-law who she couldn't stand. You know, and that poor mother-in-law used to see dropping off the kids at school. You know, and you still have this. They still
slag her off. Didn't
so
like
bad.
her.
Didn't like her.
Always
I don't
upset
like
her,
that.
but then got her to look after the kids.
Yeah, look after the kids. That kind of thing. I just don't like. Me and you, I know we would never be able to do that. We wouldn't be able to live with ourselves. We're like,
no, because
we
if
can't
you don't
do
get on with something,
that's the boundaries. Now, if you don't
and
like,
then asking them to like do something for you, but yet you don't like them. Yet then you just, I find it sly. I find it like, you know,
I used to see her being ill, like dropping them off.
You've been two-faced. You basically can't stand this person, but you using them for your own advantage.
It's sad. It's absolutely sad. And we've not done that. And it's not because we are like, we think high and mighty, we don't need help. Of course, everyone needs help.
Yeah, we all need help. We all need support.
Help.
Sometimes we look at our life and we do say to ourselves, don't get me wrong, we do have that conversation.
Sometimes it's like, it's not easy. It's so hard.
The things that we could be doing, or the things that we could be doing differently, if we did have that support, we could.
But you know what comes along with it? Even with him now, him being picked up at school, he's not being well, gone out and got him, and you know, obviously we've got work to do as well, whereas other people all the time have got someone, you know, they're at work, ring a grandparent, someone, and pick the, you know, they have them for that time. It's never been that case.
I'm not like, you know, saying that those people are bad and all that, but like you said, that if you get on so well with your family and your parents are the kind of parents who, you know, like I even know that there's like, you know, people that I know close, like, you know, on our street and stuff like that, lovely people. They don't go to work or anything like that, and they find joy in looking after their grandkids because it gives them a sense of purpose. But they have nothing else, and they're happy to do it, which is fine. But again, you know, it means that there wasn't anything else. Like, you know, you don't see them going on holidays, you don't see them doing anything for themselves, and you're going, okay. That's how some people are built and made. But then there's some who feel like they got no choice, that this is all it is. It's like, you know, the structure of life is you're born, you go to school, you know, then you go college, you go uni if you do or don't, find work, get married, have kids, look after your grandkids, you know, you got your work, look after your grandkids, and then you die. And that's it. There's no other, you know, anything else that you can think for yourself or do. Whereas for me, it's not that. It just feels like you said, there's people out there who just more or less, it's the ones that it's like saying signing your soul to the devil. It's like going, I can't stand my mom, or I can't stand my mother-in-law, or I can't stand my sister, or I can't stand my brother, or I can't stand my dad, you know, whatever it might be, but I'm going to basically go put a smile on, be okay, just just be nice and just be okay. You know what? Otherwise, they're looking after our kids, and then also we need to go on holiday, and then me and you have to work, and we make that money. And, you know, we can have those breaks. Just take whatever shit they say to you,
and you know,
tolerate it and be okay, and just smile and just if it doesn't matter what they say or how they say it, just go there and just put your face in, and then come back out and pretend nothing's happened.
And you know, so many people who do that. But me and you, we can't. It's that, you know, and not even discovering ourselves, knowing that, you know, slowly we've got to the point knowing that we've always known that.
Yeah,
from the very beginning, it was.
I'm not saying we haven't tried. I mean, we've gone into that place where. Not for that, because we didn't like drop kids off and going, oh God, let's talk to people, you know, for the sake of it. It's like, soon as you felt uncomfortable or someone said something that was you felt a bit offended by, it was more or less like, I don't need this.
Yeah,
we need to back off. Not let's tolerate this as long as they're looking after our kids. It was like, no, rather not have anyone look after our kids.
We look at the people
we're not having people who are going to disrespect us, no matter who it is. And this is how I've raised my kids as well. No matter, you know, if you're not happy with it, then, you know, back the F up.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to take shit from no one. You know, you don't, just because you need them to do something for you, well, then do it yourself.
Yeah. And yeah, it's not easy. That's one of the questions I was asked a lot on TikTok today. It's not easy doing on your own. Can't say we've really struggled. We've had times where it's been difficult for us, where we've gone each other's nerves.
Yeah. Because we just like going, if your family were there, then it would have been like this. If your family were there, then it would have been like this. And then you just like turn around and going, how is it my fault that my family isn't there? How is it your fault that your family isn't there? It's not our fault.
Yeah.
Then why are we taking on each other? But if it was, or if they were like...
What's the point of even thinking if it was?
And this is what I mean.
It's not going to change anything.
This is the whole subject that where we started, the family. You can't marry someone's family. I mean, you married into the family, but you can't, all of a sudden, you got this expectation that these people have to be a certain way and I have to be a certain way.
Yeah.
And if they're not, then obviously, then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. It's not, you're taking it out on the person you're with, going, why ain't your family like in the way that I wanted your family to be, or I expected them to be, or my family are like this, why ain't they like my family? You ain't grew up together, you know, you're from different backgrounds, and it's that. So we did always go, if your family was there, life could have been like this. If your family was there, life could have been like that, until the point when it's not our fault.
No.
They are who they are, and we're not saying knocking them. They love being who they are in the way that they are, both of the families. There's people out there who love them for who they are, and there's people out there who love them for who they are. We just realise that we don't fit in. And it's okay not to fit in. So it's not slagging people off either. It's just like, we're all different. But it's fine, because their kids might be happy in the way that their parents raised them. Our kids are happy with the way that we, you know. Yeah. But like I said, it's the whole thing about the people who take the shit, aren't happy, don't have boundaries, but yet do it because they're like going, well, we haven't got no other choice. Yes, you have got a choice. You just don't want to make that choice. Yeah. You're happy to live the rest of your life until then, soon as, you know, Buddha is Janda Laga, which I've seen also in so many families, all of a sudden, guess what? Then sisters, brothers, all these people stop talking.
No, they don't get on. Well, they do. And
no, there's the amount of people I've seen, even in a police force.
It's true. Yeah.
They all go to their mum's house together. They all go to every occasion together. They're all hunky-dory, sister-in-laws, brother-in-laws. Everyone's getting on. All of a sudden, that mum or that dad dies. All of a sudden, they find something that they're going to argue, and now they're not even going to each other's. Because whoever's like decided that they're going to take okay, I'm the oldest, or I'm more in charge, or I'm looking after this. We don't want to listen. They basically go, we don't want to listen to your crap. You know, you can't tell me what to do. You're not my mum and dad. No. I mean, you know, then all of a sudden they all have their own paths and their own rules, and they haven't got that one ring that rules all.
And it's sad as well, because then you see, you know, you got the parents, okay, they're all not talking to their own siblings or wherever, but then the kids get that, it involves the kids in it as well, doesn't it? Like the kids who grew up together now no longer can't talk, so it changed the whole dynamic.
What you realise from all that is, majority of the time, people are being who they aren't just to keep one person particularly happy. And when that one person is no longer there, then they truly become themselves and say, shit, we weren't happy. But now we ain't got that person to, you know, having to pretend to be this person that we're not. So now our true self is, you're wanker. You know what I mean? Or whatever it might be. So, and it's that. I just like Phil. In life, if you could raise your kid, this is how I see it. And I'm not saying, I've got it right, or I don't know what tomorrow or the future holds. But my thinking was, raise them in a way that they can look after themselves, that they don't have to rely and depend on you, but yet you still be there for them. And at the same time, teach them, like we've learned, that, fine, you got a choice of either having support, but then it's up to you to either have boundaries with that support, so people already know, and be free to be able to talk, or don't have that support. If that person isn't willing to respect those boundaries, then be able to walk away from it and say, okay, that's fine. Okay, if you ain't going to respect that, then I want my life. I can take care of myself. But then don't be disappointed that I haven't got the support. I mean, you can still go, I haven't got the support. The things I can't do. But tough luck. It is what it is. Don't just crawl back and go, okay, I'm willing to take your shit.
That's what happens, though, isn't it? Because it gets much.
Just to get the life that I want.
Yeah.
I want to go on holiday, so okay, I'll tolerate your crap. It's that.
That's what it is. Yeah.
And I don't think I don't think we can do that, and that's where I think people don't like us.
No, it's not that. No, I think there's a lot of people who are on the same path. And
I think our boundaries. Once we started having boundaries, people weren't happy.
Yeah, and a lot of people are on the same kind of path, or that's why they've been reaching out and asking us these kind of questions.
Yeah.
Because we're not the only people.
I think many people already want to create boundaries before they move in together or before they get married, and they basically want to know from us that, was it, like you said, was it easy? It's not easy, because lots of people are going to not like you for it, but you're not going to be liked by everyone anyway. You could be as good as you want, you can kiss ass as much as you want. Someone or the other is going to not like something about you. And you could be the sweetest person around and they'll still can't stand you. Trust me. We've been there, tried to be a good son-in-law, and she's been trying to be a good daughter-in-law, and still you'll have people turn around and say, this wasn't done right, that could have been done better, that person's better, and you're going, off.
It didn't matter what you did. You're never going to be liked.
And you go, shut up, it's just the face don't fit.
And there goes that. If you've heard that dialogue as well, ever, that, what is it? How do they say? We just want the no, it doesn't matter. We don't want nothing else. You're like a daughter to us, not a daughter-in-law. Over your head. That's the worst. If you get to hear that, then honestly...
Street's never going to say that.
I would never, ever. We had this conversation, didn't we? One of the days. There's no chance I will say that to my daughter-in-law, because she's not going to be...
daughter-in-law?
Yeah, she's not my daughter. She's my daughter-in-law. If anything, I want to be friends with her.
Yeah, and I'd rather treat you because at the end of the day, my daughter can, be a pain in the ass. My daughter herself can be a pain in the ass, and I'd rather have you not as my daughter and just be able to go, okay, let's just be nice together and have a good relationship.
Yeah. That is a proper Indian dialogue that they all say. Yeah,
they say it in films as well, don't they? It's everywhere.
It's a joke. But yeah.
See, we didn't know where the subject was going to go, but that I'm sure has answered a question, at least one of the questions, if not more, for people who are in that situation where they're unsure about their relationships or their future or their marriage and, the circumstances with the in-laws. Because trust me, I think more and more people ask that. And we can get into it a bit more, but it's just top of the head. It wasn't anything planned.
No.
And even now, I'm sorry if I went on and done a lot of buck about stuff that
it's what people
wasn't
want to know,
anything. It's just our own opinions as well, guys. So it is what it is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. But do write down in the comments below. It doesn't matter if you're on YouTube or on TikTok, what you guys want us to talk about and answer. And I'll but Sureet can talk more next time and I can shut up. Okay. So sorry about that.
You had a lot to say.
Anyway, see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.
Take it easy.
Bye.
Bye.